Back with another video for you today. This is my very first video that I've been doing ever since I went to Europe. I got back about a week ago. Lots going on, Mother's Day and things like that, but finally shooting this video for you today. This is my haul video, and no, these are not fragrances that I received as gifts. These are the fragrances I purchased on my trip in Europe for about 2.5 weeks. So if you want to find out what I purchased in Europe while I was in Italy and France, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time tuning into my channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances, discovering new brands, and of course participating in giveaways and still haven't subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So I haven't really put out any Exons themed videos, although I did do a couple of videos here and there outside of Exons that you've probably seen. The Rose Dove interview that I did the day before Exons, and then finally the Sultan Pasha interview sniffing video that we did together at the end of Exons. So you've seen those. Hopefully in the future you'll see some additional Exons related videos. But this is my haul video, and these are not fragrances that I received as going to the show. I do receive fragrances at the events, but these are fragrances that I purchased outside of the event. I purchased these fragrances with my own hard-earned money because I'm a collector and I love talking to you guys about fragrances. And I actually have a resource from a friend who works for the Estee Lauder Corporation of fragrance on the fragrance side. Well, of course, Estee Lauder is all fragrances, and some of the fragrances I got through this relationship. Then I also have another friend that doesn't work for Estee Lauder, works for another brand. So I'm going to one by one put out the fragrances that I purchased. Some of them have been opened already, some of them have not. It's just because I brought back so much fragrances, I had to open them up, some of them, and of course put them into other I guess making them compact. So let's get started. So we're going to start out with the Estee Lauder themed fragrances. One of my fragrances that I was running really low on was MYRRH and TONKA from Jo Malone. So this is my Estee Lauder hookup. So I got the MYRRH and TONKA, and it's a good deal because, as I mentioned in a Jo Malone review recently for the leather fragrance that they launched earlier this year, the best place to buy these is London, or I guess maybe the UK duty frees, because it's the best price I see there. But these to me were, through my hookup, were about 95 euros each. So converted, it's about $110, and these retail for about $175 here. So I did pick up a brand new bottle of MYRRH and TONKA because I love it so much. I've been using it up a lot. And finally, for the first time, Oud and Bergamot. So I have these two that I brought back, and of course I love deals, and these were definitely deals. The next hookup of sorts through the Estee Lauder deal is a brand spanking new Tom Ford Lavender Extreme. Now, this one I did not open because this is, of course, the decanter flacon bottle, and I didn't want it to spill, so I left it as is, and I figured out a way to pack it. But I sampled this here in San Francisco at Saks Fifth Avenue, and I loved the way it smelled, so I had to have it. And this is the bottle. As you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful bottle, and the smell is actually really, really nice. I would call this an aromatic fougere, but to me it smells more lavender forward, lavender prominent. To me it hints at Caron pour un homme de Caron, which I don't know. Yeah, Caron pour un homme de Caron is not a fougere. It's more of a musky lavender amber or vanilla fragrance, and this kind of reminds me of that. It doesn't hint at the fougere much. It's just because I don't pick up a lot of the other fougere notes. I pick up a major dose of lavender in this one. And this one actually is so much better than a fragrance that Tom Ford had several years ago called Lavender Palm, which I felt was such an odd fragrance for a fragrance. It was very oily. Anyway, this one, yummy. It's really nice. So this is Lavender Extreme, the new one from Tom Ford, and I'm glad to have it as a deal. So my other hookup was another fragrance through a friend that works for I guess a retail establishment where she works in the background more than actually on the retail, but has access to fragrances, and one of them was this one, the 1957 by Chanel, and I've been wanting this one a lot, so I finally have it. This is a very refreshing musky floral fragrance, and it has the Chanel DNA in there, but it seems a little more modern. It's unisex, but I think it leans a little feminine, and to me I feel like this is sort of like a leftover from those 3 eau de toilettes they launched in the 120 ml bottle, Paris Biarritz, Paris Deauville, and Paris Venice. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of that, but this is a great musky freshie. I love it. I sampled it here in the Chanel boutique before it was even brought to Neiman Marcus, and I fell in love with it immediately, so I had to have this one. My bottle is a bit kinked because I, brought it here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go to France now. 2 fragrances, or 1 fragrance that I bought from the Maison Francis Kurkdjian boutique is Absolue pour le soir. And this is one that I've been wanting to pick up for the longest time. I've worn decants of it before. They used to sell it here at Neiman Marcus where Maison Francis Kurkdjian is sold. And they removed it. It became a store exclusive or a boutique exclusive. And when I went to Paris to the boutique, the Maison Francis Kurkdjian boutique, I noticed the juice of this fragrance seems a little greener now compared to the amber color. And when I first sampled it, it reminded me of like Mitza with a more animalic musky touch, which is exactly what it is, I think, to me. And I love it. So finally adding it to my collection. Absolue pour le soir is a boutique exclusive. I think you can order it from Paris, but you can pick it up there, of course. It's a great price there. And oh, so this is the same color. I guess in the store the color had turned because it was kind of greenish, but I'm gonna wear this one. This is so good. If you like it musky and ambery at the same time, to me it's more of a musky amber. Really beautiful. If you like musk ravageur, this is definitely one to try. Really lovely. This is probably one of the best creations from this house. So this is Absolue pour le soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Let's put that in there. And then this I bought back from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is the fragrance wardrobe for men, and it has mostly the men's fragrances. I'm going to put my glasses on to see what's in there because I didn't really notice, but they have the 2 new ones in here, the Gentle Fluidity Silver, Gentle Fluidity Gold. They have the Oud Extrait de Parfum, Baccarat Rouge Extrait de Parfum. They have Grand Soir, which I own a big bottle of it, Masculine Pluriel Amorous Homme, which I just recently discovered as well, and then of course Aqua Universalis. So these are great, and this is going to be a great gift for someone. I'm not sure who yet, but an amazing gift. Alright, so 2 fragrances. One of my favorite fragrances, I ended up picking 2 bottles here. It's Dior Homme Parfum. Of course you know this one. And the information I'm receiving from various resources is all over the place. According to the Dior boutique, not the Dior boutique, Printemps and a couple of other perfume shops, this is widely available in France. I'm not sure how widely it is available in Italy, but if you are after Dior Homme Parfum, if you have a friend going to Paris, have them pick them up, because I saw it readily available at the Paris Printemps boutique, the fragrance standalone store on the main floor where the Dior fragrances are. And in fact, while I was leaving the airport here in San Francisco, they had a whole bunch there. So interesting that there's all kinds of information, because my Dior resource, Dior corporate resource from the States, said it's completely discontinued, but according to France, it's not. So I'm not sure who to believe. I think I think it's definitely readily available. So Dior and Parfum, I got 2 bottles. I can't find the other one. It's kind of a mess, but I luckily have one of them here. So the next one I brought back is the latest one from the Hermes, the Waters collection, Sur la Lagune. This one right here. I had to take the box out. This one actually is an aquatic, a very... See, the thing is, it smells like Hermes when I smell it. It's like, it's got the DNA all over it. But it has a floral, aquatic, magnolia, lily kind of experience. So it's very aquatic, but it's not like fishy, seaweedy, things like that. Just like watery. But you can certainly pick up some citruses in there, some woody touches, and of course that signature Hermes DNA is in here as well. So this is Un Jardin sur la Lagune from Hermes. Okay, so I was at the MEMO Paris boutique in Paris, of course, at the Rue Cambon, which is a really, really important street for Chanel. If you're a Chanel fan, that's the street that the first boutique was opened. But right across the street, there's the Parfum de Marly boutique, and right next to it, or a few doors down, it's the MEMO Paris boutique. There I was exploring some of the fragrances, and I discovered something that I had not smelled before called MANOA. Immediately, I went back. I didn't have a sample, I wore it on my wrist, and I started really loving it, and I said, you know what, I gotta go get it back, because they told me this is discontinued. I'm not sure how true that is. They said they only have 5 bottles. So here it is, Manoa, a great fragrance. This is sort of reminiscent to a very resinous Shalimar from Guilllaume. It is utilizing a Popinax in the notes, a resin. So it's a resinous, vanillic, ambery fragrance. And the bottle is to die for. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see if I can get this open. If you don't know MEMO Paris, I think probably you know African Leather from this house. It's probably their most famous. But this is to die for, this fragrance. And the bottle, look at this bottle. It's beautiful. This is gorgeous. I'm going to wear this on the other hand, on the other arm. It's so good. This is really, really good. Anyway, that's Manoa. If you guys are into this kind of fragrance, definitely check it out, because this is, yeah, definitely reminds me of Shalimar a bit, which is awesome, because I like Shalimar, and this one adds that beautiful ambery resinous touch, and I can't get that in there. There we go. Alright, so that's Manoa. At the airport, on my travels, I found a very good deal on this one right here. You know this one. My little bottle that I've had since 2011 was running out, and then this one was like 35 euros or 39 euros, something like that, at the duty-free airport. It was on a clearance, I guess it was a clearance rack, but it was like on a rack where they had like all kinds of discounts. It was a circular rack. I'm like, okay, I'm buying it because I like it and I need to have a big bottle of it. And of course it's an iconic fragrance, masculine, powerhouse, civet, leather. So anyway, you guys know it. Hopefully I'll do a full review of this one, because it deserves it. It's one of those fragrances that it deserves. And I love the bottle. It's a very, very iconic bottle, and it's a historic fragrance to me. So this is YSL's KUROS. Let's put this back in here. So I had heard about the fragrance line AKRO, and I was at Javoy Paris, and I fell in love with 2 of them. It's 5 fragrances launched by the perfumer, the famous perfumer Olivier Cresp, and it's called AKRO, the line, and then they're all fragrances inspired by addictions. I fell in love with Dark, the Dark Addiction. You can see it here. And then I also fell in love with Awake Addiction. So they come in these canisters. They're not boxes, which is kind of unique for fragrances. I'm not sure if that makes the packaging more expensive. And there's the fragrance right there. Now, Dark is an addiction to dark chocolate. And to me, this one seems like it's one of the best chocolate fragrances. It smelled so good, and after smelling so much stuff at that store, this is one I wanted, and I wanted to explore this line. So that's dark from AKRO. I hope you can see that. And then finally with Awake, it's all about, can you guess what it is? Awake is all about coffee. That's why it's called Awake. And this one I think was a great coffee fragrance. It's so good. These are now being sold at Lucky Scent. So if you're curious to try them, try them. They have 3 other addictions. I think they have, maybe it's 6 fragrances. I can't remember. It's either 5 or 6 fragrances. They have a cigarette theme. They have a sex theme. They have a cannabis theme. I think that's it. I could be wrong. So those are really awesome from AKRO. Olivier Crest created them. 4 more fragrances. So I got 2 of the Maison Christian Dior fragrances. One of them is Purple Oud. Purple Oud is it's getting its debut in Paris. It was everywhere. It was at Printemps Dior boutique, and it was also at the Maison Christian Dior standalone, this kind of fragrances boutique, where they have the exclusives such as Mitza Vetiver, Au Noir, Leather Oud Now, KURKDJIAN, Milly Laforêt, Granville, all those are there. But this was making a debut there, and I snatched it right up. And this is it reminds me a little bit of Lalique's Encre Noire. It reminds me a little bit of Gucci Pour Homme, or Gucci Guilty Absolute Pour Homme, but it's a unique take on in the Dior style created by Francois Demachy. So it was good to have this one, Purple Oud. Hopefully we'll do a full review very soon. The other one I bought that I really liked is Balade Sauvage. This was probably one of the only other ones that I really liked. I wore a lot of this one because it smells great. It's kind of like an aquatic fig fragrance, fig leaves, fig fruit. Very unique. Kind of hints at their fragrance Dune for Men. I don't know if you've ever smelled that one, so if you like that one, it's a sandy kind of aquatic fig fragrance, fruits and the leaves. This one is sort of similar. I think it's a little more brighter, not so dark, and more unisex compared to Dune, which is more masculine. So these 2 are great from the Maison Christian Dior fragrances line, and I'm glad to have them. And a couple more fragrances. At Printemps, I did a shopping for 2 different fragrances. One for a fragrance called COZE from the house of Pierre Parfumerie Générale. And this one, I already owned a bottle from 2014. It's gone. I had a 50 ml and I had bought. Now I had bought the 100 ml. The unfortunate part was they were at Essence and I didn't stop at the booth. I just kind of ran out of time, so unfortunately I just didn't have time. So I finally saw them at Printemps and I ended up buying this one, which is good to have because this is a great fragrance. It's chocolate, it's patchouli, it's cannabis or marijuana, and it's a really unique smell. It's COZE, and I absolutely love their bottles. I think their bottles are absolutely amazing. I love them. It's very masculine, square bottles. Awesome lineup. It's too bad this line doesn't get a lot of talk. Not sure why, but there are some great fragrances in this collection. So that's that one. And then last but not least, from the house of Maison Margiela, this is Whispers in the Library, the new one. These fragrances do sell here, but this one was actually 91 euros or 92 euros in Europe, in France or Paris at the Printemps boutique. I like this one because it's a vanillic woody fragrance, and this is the latest from this collection, as you can see here. So there you have it. Those are the fragrances I bought on this trip. These were all purchased by me. Nothing was given to me, and I'm happy to have these. I've been wanting them, or very curious to have them, and pretty soon I'll do some reviews for these fragrances, guys. But let me know your thoughts. Do you like these fragrances? Have you been wanting to smell them? What are your thoughts? Which one was the most exciting to you? Which one were you most interested in smelling? All that good stuff. Let me know so that we can find out. Put some comments down. Let's get a conversation going. Also, let me know which of these fragrances you want me to review first. I'll do my best to get them up there, but I'd like to find find out what you guys are most interested in. I'll take a inventory of which one gets the most votes, and then we'll go that way. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.